What if the one person everyone underestimated turned out to be the one who changed everything? For weeks, Carter has tried to keep his emotions under control. He has followed orders, carried the weight of impossible expectations, and watched the people around him make decisions that have torn the ranch apart. But in episode 8, the pressure reaches a breaking point. One shocking confrontation changes the atmosphere at the ranch forever. Long-held secrets begin to surface, and relationships that once seemed unbreakable are suddenly hanging by a thread. By the time the credits roll, it's clear that nothing will ever be the same again. Let's break down everything that happened. The episode opens with an uneasy silence across the ranch. Even before a single word is spoken, the tension is obvious. Everyone seems to know that the calm won't last much longer. Carter has spent days wrestling with frustration. Every conversation reminds him that trust has become one of the rarest things on the ranch. He has watched people make promises only to break them moments later, and each betrayal has left another crack in the fragile foundation holding everyone together. Instead of rushing into conflict, Carter tries to focus on work. He throws himself into his responsibilities, hoping hard work will silence the growing storm inside him. But every task only gives him more time to think about everything that's gone wrong. Meanwhile, the rest of the ranch is dealing with problems of their own. Alliances are shifting, and old disagreements are beginning to resurface. Conversations that once felt routine now carry hidden meanings. Every glance between characters feels loaded with suspicion. Before long, it's clear that one wrong move could push everything over the edge. As the morning unfolds, rumors begin spreading across the property. Nobody knows exactly who started them, but they all point toward the same frightening possibility. Someone has been hiding the truth. Carter hears pieces of the story from different people, yet none of them fully match. Every version leaves out important details, making it impossible to know who can be trusted. Instead of reacting immediately, he starts paying closer attention. He notices conversations that suddenly stop when he walks into a room. He notices nervous expressions that disappear almost instantly. Most importantly, he notices that certain people seem far more interested in protecting themselves than protecting the ranch. That realization changes everything. The episode slows down for a moment as Carter reflects on how much his life has changed since arriving at the ranch. Once uncertain and searching for a place to belong, he believed loyalty would always be rewarded. Now he's forced to confront a much harsher reality. Loyalty means very little if the people around you are keeping secrets. Elsewhere, the ranch faces growing outside pressure. Rivals continue looking for weaknesses, convinced that internal divisions will eventually create the perfect opportunity to strike. Those outside threats become even more dangerous because the people inside the ranch are no longer united. Instead of standing together, everyone seems to be choosing sides. As the day continues, Carter finds himself in the middle of another heated disagreement. What begins as a simple conversation quickly turns into a tense exchange, with accusations flying in every direction. No one is willing to admit fault. Everyone believes they're protecting the ranch, but every argument pushes them further apart. The emotional weight becomes almost unbearable. Carter finally reaches his limit. Rather than staying silent like he has so many times before, he speaks with a confidence nobody expected. His words catch everyone off guard. He refuses to let fear dictate his decisions any longer. He challenges the people who have been hiding behind half-truths and unanswered questions. For the first time, Carter stops trying to please everyone. Instead, he demands honesty. The room falls completely silent. Even those who usually have an answer for everything struggle to respond. It's one of the most powerful moments of the season because Carter isn't acting out of anger alone. He's acting because he believes the ranch deserves better. His emotional outburst isn't about revenge. It's about accountability. His willingness to speak honestly inspires others to stop hiding. One confession leads to another. Old misunderstandings begin making sense. Motivations become clearer. Yet every answer seems to create two new questions. That's one of the episode's greatest strengths. Rather than wrapping everything up neatly, it expands a story while rewarding patient viewers. By the final act, it's obvious that larger conflicts are waiting just beyond the horizon. Enemies haven't disappeared. Secrets haven't completely surfaced. The ranch remains vulnerable. But something important has changed. Carter has changed. He's no longer the uncertain young man who simply follows directions. He's becoming someone willing to fight for what he believes is right, even if doing so creates powerful enemies. That personal growth may become one of the defining stories of the entire season. As darkness settles over the ranch, characters quietly reflect on everything that happened. Some regret their choices. Others begin planning their next move. Not everyone has learned the same lessons. Some see Carter's actions as bravery. Others see them as recklessness. That difference in perspective promises even greater conflict moving forward. The final scenes leave viewers with several lingering questions. Who can truly be trusted? Which alliances will survive? What secrets remain hidden? Most importantly, can the ranch recover before outside forces exploit its growing divisions? Episode 8 doesn't provide every answer. Instead, it carefully builds anticipation for what comes next. That's exactly why so many fans are calling it one of the strongest chapters of the season. It balances emotional storytelling with suspense while allowing every major character meaningful moment. One secret, one betrayal, one explosive ending. Dutton Ranch just changed forever. Intro. What if everything you thought you knew about the Dutton Ranch was built on a lie? Just when it seemed like the family had survived its biggest challenges, one shocking secret rises to the surface. Trust begins to crumble. Old alliances fall apart, and a betrayal from someone close sends the entire ranch into chaos. By the time the dust settles, nothing is the same. Today's episode delivers emotional confrontations, unexpected twists, and an ending that could change the future of the ranch forever. Let's break it all down. The episode opens with an uneasy calm across the ranch. The morning feels different. Workers go about their routines, but there's an unmistakable tension hanging in the air. Everyone senses that something is coming, even if no one can explain exactly what it is. Carter notices it first. He's been paying attention to conversations that don't quite add up, strange meetings that happen behind closed doors, and people acting differently whenever certain names come up. The more he investigates, the more convinced he becomes that someone has been hiding an enormous secret. Meanwhile, Beth refuses to ignore her instincts. She's learned over the years that silence usually means trouble. When people stop talking, it's because they're protecting something or someone. She begins asking difficult questions. Not everyone appreciates that. Elsewhere, Rip is trying to keep the ranch running despite mounting pressure from every direction. Outside investors continue looking for ways to gain influence, while longtime enemies wait patiently for the perfect opportunity to strike. Rip knows that one mistake could cost everything. But what he doesn't realize is that the greatest threat isn't coming from outside the ranch. It's already inside. As the day unfolds, several conversations hint at a hidden agreement that was made long ago. Pieces of the puzzle slowly begin falling into place. Documents have disappeared. Phone calls are being erased. Someone has been covering their tracks for weeks. Every clue points toward betrayal that reaches deeper than anyone expected. The tension builds with every scene. Every glance feels suspicious. Every conversation carries another unanswered question. Beth eventually uncovers information that changes everything. She realizes someone she trusted has been secretly working against the family's interests. Even worse, this wasn't a momentary lapse in judgment. It was carefully planned. Every decision, every lie, every distraction had been leading to this moment. The discovery leaves Beth furious. But instead of reacting emotionally, she does what she does best. She starts planning her response. Because when Beth strikes back, she never does it halfway. Meanwhile, Carter finds himself caught in the middle. He's forced to choose between loyalty and the truth. For someone who's worked so hard to earn his place at the ranch, this may be the hardest decision he's ever faced. He understands that exposing the secret could save the ranch, but it could also destroy relationships that may never recover. His internal struggle becomes one of the episode's strongest emotional moments. At the same time, Rip begins noticing small inconsistencies that finally start making sense. Conversations he dismissed, warnings he ignored, actions that once seemed harmless now appear suspicious. The realization hits him all at once. Someone has been manipulating events from behind the scenes, and they've been doing it for longer than anyone imagined.